everybody, and welcome to Bridgwater Station. Now it is my birthday coming up, so you know what that means. Yep, I'm going to be travelling back to London, which is one of my all-time favourite cities. However, most people when they travel from Bridgwater Station go via Bristol. However, if you want the cheapest ticket, sometimes you have to head in the opposite direction. Now, most people will take the train north out of Bridgwater, heading towards Weston-super-Mare and finally Bristol Temple Meads, where they'll change trains and catch a direct train straight up the Great Western Main Line via Bath and Swindon into London Paddington. However, sometimes you can get cheap trains heading in the other direction. Now today I was going to be doing exactly that. I was first going to be heading south down just one stop to Taunton and then heading up on the Berks and Hants line all the way to London Paddington on one of the non-stop services between Taunton and Reading. Now although the two lines meet at Reading, going via the Berks and Hants line is ever so slightly quicker, therefore it is in this case quite a bit cheaper. Anyway, there are two direct early morning and two direct late evening trains from Bridgwater. However, these are usually very expensive and run via Bristol Temple Meads and therefore take a slightly bit longer. Anyway, here we are leaving Bridgwater on our first train to take us just the one stop, 10 minutes up the line to Taunton.
Belongings with you.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform and take care when stepping down from the train.
Change here for the bus service to Minehead. If you see something that doesn't look right, speak to staff or text the British Transport Police on 61016. We'll sort it. See it. Say it. Sort it.
Here we are passing the Old Bridge Link Road on our approach into Taunton. we are arriving into Taunton Station on platform 2, which is where most of the trains heading south depart from. Now traditionally, trains heading south from Cardiff Central, whether or not they're terminating like this one at Taunton, or heading south down the line towards Exeter, Plymouth and Penzance, would traditionally use platform 3 and would rarely use platform 4 heading northbound. However, in more recent times, all of the trains have started to use platform 2, even if they're terminating trains like this one.
Is this the end of the line? Let's get off then. You're not taking me to Penzance? Oh no.
Here we are heading into the underpass at Taunton Station to take us over to platform 5, which is the main northbound platform. Now traditionally, local trains heading to Cardiff via Bristol and Weston-super-Mare have used the middle platform 4. However, in more recent times, no trains have used this platform, and very few trains use this platform. Sometimes if there are problems on the line and trains end up getting bunched up, sometimes they will use platform 4. However, usually they use platform 5, and sometimes on a Sunday even use platform 6. Now speaking of disused platforms, there is also a platform 1, which is a southbound terminating platform. However, no trains, or at least no passenger trains, have used this platform for a number of years. Ever since I can remember, no trains have used platform 1, and very few northbound trains use platforms 4 or 6. Anyway, here's a delayed cross-country train leaving Taunton on its way to Leeds via Bristol Temple Meads and Birmingham New Street. Here I am now at Taunton Station. Here you can see the platform 5 waiting room, which is much more civilised than the waiting room on platform 2, and also features a small Starbucks coffee shop, which is rarely open. However, it has started to reopen a bit 4 years after COVID. Anyway, as you can see, my London Paddington train was running a little bit late. Now the reason why Taunton has so many great features, it has step-free access, has a Starbucks, has a few other sort of little shops and offices, and has loads and loads of waiting rooms and waiting shelters, is because it is one of the main stations in Somerset for London services, and is also a very busy station, being located in Somerset County Town. Now Castle Cary, which is another main station in Somerset for London-bound trains, only gets a few London-bound trains each day, as only the local services, I think from Exeter, stop at Castle Cary, and Bridgwater, which is another big town, barely gets any London services a day. Usually you have to change either here at Taunton or up the line at Bristol. Anyway, as you can see, the weather had completely changed. It was also sunny. However, it had now started raining since we had arrived here. Anyway, here is our train arriving into Taunton, which is one of the horrible Class 800s. They look and sound brilliant, however the interiors are not that great and the seats are dreadful, especially since most of them are at least 4 years old. Here we are leaving Taunton on one of the fast services that runs non-stop between Taunton and Reading. We left Taunton 7 minutes late at 17:49. As I just said, this train will be making no stops between Taunton and Reading, as some of the services from the southwest alternate between being fast trains and slow trains, with the slow trains making stops at Castle Carey, Westbury, Pewsey and Newbury, with some early morning and late evening services, as well as some services running to and from Paignton, also making stops at some local stations between Pewsey and London Paddington. Anyway, because this service was one of the London Paddington services, there was a refreshment service. This is basically a trolley serving hot and cold refreshments as well as drinks. Unfortunately, I was sat at a table, which was good. However, somebody else was sat next to me since the train was absolutely rammed. Anyway, since two of the engines were actually isolated, we ended up losing quite a lot of time. However, here we are going through the Somerset countryside. Here we are going underneath the line between Taunton and Bristol Temple Meads, which I think is part of the cross-country route. Here we are passing through Castle Carey, where you can see one of the Thames turbo units waiting for us to clear the line, since we were running about 8 or 9 minutes late. This service was bound for Bristol and probably ended up in Gloucester. Here we are also passing through Bruton, which none of the London trains actually call at.
No. You think you could pick me up from Hobbycraft in Reading? Yes.
That's where they come down the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
It's a 15-minute walk from the station. And there'll be parking there, so it might be easier than hanging
I do not
around.
know the video where they're going down the stairs.
Here we are on the line that skips Westbury Station, which some fast services that run non-stop between Taunton and Reading use, where you get a brilliant view of one of the white horses. There are only a few of these in the country, and this is one of them. One of the beauties of travelling via the Berks and Hants line is you get to run alongside the Kennet and Avon Canal for part of the journey. You do also get to run alongside one of the other canals en route between Bristol Temple Meads and Bath Spa if you choose to go the other way, which I do find more interesting, I'll admit. However, you do get better views of the canal if you go via the Berks and Hants line.
Good evening, everyone. This is your train manager speaking. We are currently approximately 9 minutes away from Reading Station, which is our next stop. We have lost quite a significant amount of time between the stations.
Yeah, with that. Yeah, so we're gonna. Yeah, so you're gonna be getting into London at about 35, maybe 42.
Here we are arriving into Reading, which quite a few years ago had a massive rebuild since the old station was way too small for the amount of trains passing through the station. The new station looks absolutely fantastic and suits the town that is Reading. Reading is also the main town in Berkshire and is one of the main rail hubs along with a few other stations in the Thames Valley. The reason why the station is so massive is because all of the London-bound trains operated by Great Western Railway pass through this station at some point or another on their journey into London. As well as that, a few other local services to Basingstoke, London Waterloo, operated by South Western Railway, and Gatwick Airport services, as well as the Elizabeth Line services bound for London, pass through this station.
This is Reading. This is a Great Western Railway service to London Paddington.
Oh my god, Edie, stop putting my head out into the fucking
Matt, Ibrahim, Major, Harry. Really connected bunch of very yeah, we met Fabric today. Just been had a summer because I was living in London. I went to quite a lot of London nights and they were kind of finding their feet with it too. We've met and done. They've started this WhatsApp group called Team Rocket, which is initially just us and then 300 people. We've got an audience which actually run a life because we love doing it. We always go to our we didn't lose those last 5 or 6 Saturdays, but all this time ago. I'm both put in 360 quid on the day. 360 quid the third party. So, yeah, just turn up to that party. Last time I made that.
We will be coming back to London and Paddington only in approximately 25 minutes time. This is a security announcement. Please keep a watchful eye on all of your belongings. And if you notice anything suspicious running around the station, contact the train crew or take the British Transport Police on 6101.
Here we are passing the Great Western Railway Hitachi depot where most of the London-based Class 800s are stored. Now, sorry for the reflections in the window, however I did try the best I could to get some shots out of the window. However, it was now incredibly dark and we were also running about 15 minutes late, so that didn't help either.
Went home for 7 o'clock and his mum
Oh, yeah.
Good stop that, or where are you?
Here we are arriving into London Paddington around 13 minutes late. Now London Paddington, along with a number of other London terminals, is one of the largest stations in London. However, technically, the biggest station on the Great Western Railway network, or the biggest station that has the most platforms, is Bristol Temple Meads. However, most stations just split their platforms into half, such as London Paddington and such as Taunton. However, Bristol Temple Meads actually splits their platforms into quarters, at least for most of the time, since their platforms are so long. So technically, that station has nowhere near 15 platforms. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. However, there is still a bit more to go.
Yeah, so I was just like, fuck the world, fuck everyone, I don't want to see no one speak to me.
And they are, you're not wrong.
Well, yeah.
It's just our ability to tolerate changes over time.
Yeah, I just sort of turn into a miserable one.
Unfortunately, experience does make you better. Things. I was trying to do this like the other day. I was trying to articulate things in my head. I was like, God, it just sounds so bitter. It doesn't take away from the fact that my reality is working for these individuals.
It's the thing, it's easy to blame everyone else and blame the world.
Area at Paddington Station, where most passengers wait for their Great Western Railway trains to be called, which are usually announced about 5 minutes before departure. And this is new. Anyway, our train ended up arriving into Paddington at 19:37, exactly 13 minutes late, as the train was supposed to arrive at 19:23. Anyway, it didn't matter since London was now very dark and it made for some nice videos. Now, we were actually staying at a Premier Inn hotel, which is a bit different altogether. However, it was a hotel we'd never actually stayed at before. So we ended up trekking around Paddington for quite a while, trying to find our hotel, which is located near the Westway and one of the canals. I can't remember what it is. Anyway, here is one of the big buses, which I think was an Optare Olympus. Anyway, we did manage to find the canal, which is situated round the back of Paddington Station, and the area around it is actually very nice. However, it does look like there's a lot of risky people about. Here I am now at my hotel, which is located right next to the Westway, which is the Premier Inn at Paddington Basin, even though the hotel is situated closer to Edgware Road. Anyway, this is the end of the video, so thank you very much for watching this video. The hotel, by the way, had some absolutely fantastic Mitsubishi lifts, which made a change for Premier Inn. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope to see you again soon for another London video. Bye everyone!